Gather round the digital fire, my friends, because today is story time. So for the day 4 prompt for 5 years of 5e from Wizards of the Coast, today's question or prompt is this: what's your favorite inside joke from your 5e games? And I'm going to tackle this one today on the vlog a little differently because I have to go back in time. I will absolutely share some 5e tales and jokes, of course. However, I really want to bring it back to like the good old days of my gaming, which is like back from high school into my early 20s. Here's what it was all about. With this group, this is my buddies from high school, and we still play games to this day. We get together at, we're all adults, we all have families and so forth. We get together as often as we can. And the inside joke I wanted to share with you from this old group is this. It's sort of silly and ridiculous, but again, we were younger and less serious about our game. This gives you an idea about the kind of shenanigans we got up to. So we had this sort of ongoing joke. Not everybody did it, but a few of the group members did this. We had this ongoing joke where it was essentially like the guys were trying to one-up each other on who could come up with the more ridiculous character name. So we had some of the following. We had like Gwoosh the Barbarian, Gwoosh because that's what it sounded like when he basically, killed you or hit you, Gwoosh. We had Hung the Barbarian, yes, Hung the Barbarian, and we had, of course, let's not forget Chip the Monk. Yes, Chip the Monk, you know where that goes. And of course, I guess it all started with Joe the Fighter. Yes, you could not get any more generic or ridiculous, of course, than Joe the Fighter. So we had this inside joke, this ongoing joke of like, let's see how ridiculous of a name we can come up with. And I gotta tell you, if you watched any of the Car Wars videos that I posted here on the channel, you know that even in our 40s as adults, we still get up to the same ridiculous shenanigans. So naming is fun, and it should be, and this game should be fun, and it should make you laugh. So there's our inside joke from the days of yore, I guess, in our group. Now let me get back into 5e, because that's really what this question is all about. One's not necessarily an inside joke, it was just my funniest experience playing 5e. And that is, of course, when I was on the one shot with One Crit Wonder. This was a group of gamers I had not played with, and it was sort of like we were all new to the table, and so it was a random group, but it was just a one shot, so how bad can it go? And it actually turned out to be phenomenally fun and hysterical. I feel a little bad for One Crit Wonder because again, shenanigans, right? So when we started out, one of the characters was sort of playing this doddering older druid, I think. I'm not exactly sure what the class was, I forget at this point, but the bottom line was it was an older character. So they played them as this sort of like doddering old fool or sort of maybe a nutty professor or absent-minded professor or something like this, where it was kind of like you weren't quite sure if they were all there. And it was hysterical because we were at a farm, and so they decided to start like chasing a chicken around the yard, and he caught one of the chickens and took it along with us on this adventure. And so yeah, then the chicken got named, it became Lord Cluck, and he started like he's worshiping this chicken or something, or he was gonna start a religion, or I don't know, something like this. Just the whole session was an absolute gut buster. There were lots of puns, of course, and it kind of still goes on. Like if I go online right now and put up a hashtag of long live Lord Cluck, or send a message to some others out there, people will respond because it was that funny and that fun of a session. So that's a great sort of inside joke. Like, yeah, all hail Lord Cluck. Yes, we're actually worshiping a chicken. So that was a fun one. And I guess the most recent one, the kind of ongoing one that I enjoy is from my Tuesday night game. This is a silly one that goodness gracious, we have a group. We started, I was trying to find a game to play in person, and I happened to meet some guys at the local climbing gym, rock climbing gym. And we just struck up a conversation, one thing led to another. We started getting together to play some D&D, and most of them were new players. They had either little or no experience playing the game, which is fun for me. I love introducing people to this hobby. And in one of the very early sessions, first, second, maybe at the very most third session, they sort of came to an impasse, and they didn't know what to do or how to proceed or whatever. They were being a little cautious, and I was just prompting them. I said, like, I don't remember exactly, but it was something to the effect of like, okay, so what are you guys gonna do? And they literally looked from one to the other and back or something, and there was this pause, dramatic pause, and then one of them said, they kind of shrugged their shoulders and said, "We out here?" And that became the running joke of the party. We actually use that now sort of as the title of our group. And what's awesome is that the party member that actually created that, Patrick, he actually, because of life, he had to step out of the game. However, Sam and Austin, we continued playing, and we have since recruited 2 new other awesome players, Dane and Andrew. And what's really great, and this is why it's such a cool inside joke, is that they sort of picked it up as well, and it's now like, it's literally like the dare I say, battle cry of the group. It's sort of the raison d'etre. It's their reason for being. It's their go-to decision making. Like if they don't know what to do, it's like, well, we're here. We might as well make the best of it. So we out here. And the last inside joke I'm gonna share today is from my Thursday group. We've been playing for a couple of years together now, and this is what's fun about this group. The characters are generally take the world pretty seriously, right? However, the players, yeah, well, we like to goof around and joke and try to crack each other up and that kind of thing, which is fun. And so with this group, whenever they encountered someone, I'm running the game, and we do trade the DM chair from time to time, but generally speaking, I'm running the game, and whenever they encountered someone new, a new NPC, and the NPC was sort of like, "Who are you and what are you doing here?" Their kind of like canned response has been, "We are but poor, lost circus performers." And that is an homage, of course, to Vicini from The Princess Bride. So
we are but poor, lost circus performers.
Yeah, so this group, that's our inside joke. It's an ongoing joke that constantly comes up at the table, and it's always, for me, it's a little cringeworthy because, I know they're just messing with me as I'm trying to run the game, and it always gives us a laugh. Well, that was sort of unintentional, but there you go. That's 4 stories of inside jokes, great inside jokes that we share around the table for day 4 of this hashtag 5 years of 5e challenge. I want to hear your stories in the comments on this video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. Keep rolling 20s, and remember, it's your game. Play your way.